A couple of people already in the chat.
Yeah, they're already in there.
Happy New Year's wishes. Happy New Year's, guys. I know we're
Yeah,
just coming on,
yeah,
so
absolutely. I mean, Happy New Year, everybody. It's just been what is this? This is the first episode of the year, right?
yep, first
Yeah,
episode of the new year of 2021.
yeah. It's the first episode of the year. I didn't even realize that until now because we didn't do one New Year's and what? Let me look at the calendar. I don't think there's another Tuesday. Yeah, the Tuesday was the 5th, so that's the first episode. So first and Framerates episode one. I'm sorry, 202. Myself, DJ81. Bill said he's gonna be here a little bit late, so us to give him a minute. So when he jumps in, the door's open. I hope everybody caught on and listened to the last episode, particularly like the last 30 to 45 minutes. Basically, we talked about what we represent and what we are doing over here. And with that being said, I just want to continue that into the new year. Not this is not an episode necessarily talking about anything that we're doing new for the new year. It's just that if you listen to that last episode that we did, episode 201, we basically said, hey, we're continuing to do the unique things that we do when it comes to sports and gaming, and hopefully everyone else, who wants to take that approach find happiness in your hobby, because I think it gets to the point where this is a hobby and we need to start treating it as such. But other than that, myself, like I said, myself, DJ81 Bills is going to be here. If you guys have not already, check out the Patreon. Shout out to everybody who has supported us on Patreon. Everybody who continues to support. You guys are awesome. I will be sending you guys a message in the Patreon before the night is over. Shout out to everybody who comes through to like and share these episodes. It goes a long way. Even if you do download the podcast other ways outside of YouTube, if you want to go through SoundCloud, Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. I do have an update. I will be going officially. I'm going to be going live on Twitch. Let me look at this. January 26th is going to be, I'm going to be live strictly on Twitch. Now, what does that mean for this channel here? Nothing's going to change on this channel outside of me uploading. I'm going to be uploading the episodes shortly after we're done on Twitch. So you'll be able to watch the episode on YouTube, maybe like early that following morning or later on that night if you choose to. But we will be live on Twitch starting January 26th. I'm going to put a banner at the bottom to give everybody an update and a heads up on what's going on with that. Outside of that, we're going to be talking about Spongebob meeting up with Madden. Give us some speculation because they didn't say anything about what officially it is, but we could talk about it, and maybe on Thursday we'll expand upon it. And we're going to talk about the playoffs. Some teams that made the playoffs, some teams won. Teams that we didn't think were going to win their division, won their divisions. And we're going to talk about a couple of draft spots that are actually official, they're concrete draft spots. Without further ado, I'm running my mouth a lot. Let's give DJ the floor. DJ, how have you been so far? How was your New Year?
Well, the new year came in. Well, actually, I was asleep right after New Year came in, so it's been quiet. Got to watch a lot of games. Watch the messed up NFC East turn into bitter drama, even more drama than usual, and just basically spent the gaming between State of K2. Reinstalled Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PS4 because what I'm noticing is that I like to play the story driven games on the big screen instead of the little screen of the PC. So that's the one knock against the monitor setup I have for my Master Race PC is that it's only 24 inches. So
You need a big monitor, bro.
well, I don't need a bigger monitor because I have the table is the right size. But when it comes to the big screen, I got the 40-inch over my shoulder, my left shoulder here, and Red Dead Redemption, the big story-driven games have to be in the highest fidelity, even though the frames per second would be stuck at like 30. It kills me, but I understand the cinematic effect of 30 frames per second in film.
You mean what they tell you?
know what I know because trust me, watched. It felt weird watching Gemini Man in 60 frames per second.
I can't go back to 30 unless I have to. If it's 60, I'm taking 60 every time.
Yeah,
I just bought a 144 monitor, and the last thing I'm doing is going back to 30. But that's just me. But I mean, I'm not knocking it. It's just that it's something I can't do.
But the thing is, we're talking about viewing. You can view something at 30 frames per second for the cinema. Come on, really?
Not if I'm gaming. I'm not.
No,
I can't.
No. I'm not applying it to gaming. I'm in agreement with you. It's the movies, like the watching the movies and understanding the cinematic effect of 30 frames per second. Now, and that's where, like, when I got to Red Dead Redemption, I'm like, that's the sacrifice that I'm willing to give for story-driven games, is the fact that it's going to be on the bigger screen, but it's going to be 30 frames per second until I get a next-gen console. When I get a next-gen console, then we can talk 60 as the standard, as much as I like it. So, other than that, I've been playing further into my league. About to hit this West Coast trip with the Wizards. We're riding a 9-game win streak. We're top of the conference and top of the NBA in power rankings. And we get to avoid AD and Kawhi Leonard because they are out with injuries on this road trip. So I'll just have to worry about LeBron and Kawhi.
All right. As for me, you guys know what I've been playing. Pretty much everything I've been playing, I've been streaming. And see, son, you can't close the door and try not to get. You can't get out that way when you close the door. And he's gonna knock on the door trying to get out. Hold on, everybody.
Oh boy, here we go.
You gotta keep the door open so you don't close it. There you go.
Oh, and also one interesting update as far as back on 2K before you continue on. I'm monitoring a health situation with Bradley Beal. His right elbow, the red on the wear and tear is flaring up on his right elbow. So, and he's been hacked a lot on that side. So I'm keeping an eye on that. But everything else, we've been injury free, and that's been my experience on 2K My League, current gen, that is.
Well, like I said, everybody knows what I've been playing. I've been streaming pretty much, and the streaming has just been fantastic. I prefer Twitch. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I prefer being on Twitch. The main thing is people who come to watch your stuff, they want to watch your stuff. And not to knock on anybody who's here, because us as a collective, the guys that are here want to be here. But then again, you know, when you watch these videos, a lot of people want to watch videos just, you know, for quick gratification, and they're the first ones to come in and they want to say this, or they don't even click on your videos because they don't see them. People who come to Twitch, they really are more interactive. I know everybody's here that's on this list, that's in the chat already. People that are participating and watching, they've already been to my Twitch channel. Like I said, it's not even a knock on you guys. So I know once I move over to Twitch, you guys are going to come over anyway. But I just prefer that atmosphere. I mean, it's geared towards gaming. YouTube is not necessarily geared towards gaming. They tried it with YouTube gaming, and it just hasn't worked. I just don't feel like this platform is 100. It's just 100% not for me, and I'm really enjoying the other side. So that's where my gaming has been, and it's just been complete satisfaction when it comes to gaming, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. Complete said, how do I know if you are on Twitch? If you have a Twitch account already, all you have to do is look up VF Baller. It is very easy to find. Nobody else has my name. They better not anyway. Just search VF Baller. You'll see the helmet with the VF on it, similar to the helmet in the top right hand corner here, and that's my channel. I have an intro video and everything, or advertisement video telling you what I'm doing over there and everything. So go over there and follow me over there if you haven't already. But one thing I will not be doing, I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty much done. I've been done with Madden for a while. It's really been no secret. I think the last time I can go to my Origin account. I think the last time I touched Madden was maybe November 21st or something like that. It's been over a month and a half, almost a month and a half since I played it. But what I see here, I mean, it was superstar KO for me. At one point, I got to the point where I was like, I'm fed up with this because they did this. They don't care about franchise mode and the whole hoopla on social media about it. And then I know they had to pay Nickelodeon some money for this. I know they did. And they put I don't even know what they're doing with it, but these two has nothing to do with one another at all. And we're going to find out on Thursday why, but I'm not trying to look into it to find out. If I find out, it's going to come across my timeline, but I'm not like sitting here like, oh man, I can't wait to see. I'm like, more like, oh no, why are you doing this? These two things have nothing to do with each other. And, you know, EA Sports is going after that money. And I'm telling you, these kids that love these games, they're going to eat this up. And the people that eat this up is going to continuously be a cash cow for EA. And I expect to see more of this. I'm honestly, I'm floored because I never thought I'd see anything like that. I'm going to be quite honest. I don't know if you're still there, Bills, because you just came in, but you took your video down. If you're here, you can give your intro and give your thoughts about that, or just give your speculation about it. And if he's not there, I'll let DJ go.
It looks like it got too hot in there.
It must be.
All right, what's
Bills,
up?
did you hear what I said?
No, what'd you say?
No, I was telling you about if you want to give your thoughts and your intro and give your thoughts about this whole SpongeBob Man thing. What is your speculation on it, and why do you think it's there? You can add those two things to the commentary if you like.
Well, I mean, my week was pretty chill. As far as the SpongeBob thing, I think people need to get over it. They're complaining a bit too much about this already. And
no, I'm gonna stop you right there. I can't. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not. I'm gonna stop you right there. It comes a point where we gotta say enough is enough. Superstar KO, okay, that was related to football. QB1 was related to football. All this other stuff Madden did, even though it wasn't simulation, it was some, F franchise stuff. It still was related to football. I don't see nothing about this SpongeBob thing that's related. Maybe it's something I don't know, but on the surface, I don't see it. I can't take a chill pill. I'm sorry, I can't. This is some BS. I'm sorry, I can't do it. But go ahead.
Yeah, you want to tell him, or should I tell him? Tell V out there. You and I already had this conversation.
I don't care about it.
I was just saying this.
I'm gonna give you my reason why afterwards, but I don't.
No. I was adding context to Bill's reaction to what you were saying and cutting him off, because that's where his reaction comes in, because we literally had that conversation earlier. Go ahead, continue, Bills.
What does Giannis have to do with soccer?
Exactly. The FIFA people should be upset as well.
But
I give two shits about FIFA regardless.
Have this reaction to it the way. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're not going to play that portion of the game, what does it matter?
Go ahead, DJ. I'm gonna tell you why, but go ahead.
Bro, because here's my thing, VF. We've been doing this for years. We've been
and enough is enough.
Getting put in the game that has nothing to do with us. It was enough 7 years ago. What's the difference now? Because they added a colory ass Nickelodeon character? Oh shit! Well, no. Well, Spice Adams getting added into NBA Live was bad, but SpongeBob and Madden is where.
But you know what? Even though Spice Adams was added, was added, that's the creamsicle guy, right? Because I don't know who he is. Let me back up.
I have no.
Who the fuck is Spice Adams? Because I don't know who that is.
Cream Bigums, yeah.
That's who that is.
The big guy.
But you know what though? You know what though? That he played basketball. SpongeBob don't know shit about football. What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, and Giannis doesn't know anything about soccer, but people.
And if I played FIFA, I'd be just as pissed.
Hold up. We're assuming based on the fact that he plays basketball.
Yeah, you're right.
No, he's not basketball because Chad Johnson played football. He knew a lot about soccer.
But he's not a soccer player.
Yeah, if I was a FIFA guy, I would be just as pissed. I'm not even gonna lie. I would be.
Does SpongeBob affect how the game plays and moves?
It could.
No. This is the problem. If this shit goes successful, they're going to keep doing shit like this. Before you know it, you're going to have Transformers in the damn game. You're going to have Bugs Bunny. You're going to have Space Jam. You're going to have all this bullshit in the game. And people like us are going to continue to get put on the back burner. No, I can't do it, bro.
BF, you bought Madden 20 knowing we were put on the back burner. You bought Madden 19 knowing we were put on the back burner.
But you know what, though? They didn't have this bullshit in it.
So
they had other bullshit in it.
Yeah, but you know what? That bullshit was related to football. And I was okay with that.
But wait a minute, but it was still bullshit, though.
But it was related to football. I'm buying a football game. I'm not buying Nickelodeon.
But Bill's point is that it was still bullshit.
That's my point.
No. We all been taking bullshit for years when it relates to the sport. This has nothing to do with the sport. It's almost like you're asking for, let's say if you had 2K or whatever, and then all of a sudden you got Care Bears in the fucking game. Why the fuck would you have Care Bears in 2K?
VF, here's what I'm saying.
Because maybe they can hit a shot, unlike
VF.
Green.
But VF,
why are we accepting that?
VF, here's my thing, bro. Whether it's a turd in the toilet or a turd with candles around it, it's a fucking turd, bro. SpongeBob's not
that line before.
That. It doesn't matter.
Y'all may not understand what I'm saying. This is not a gameplay issue. This is not a game breaking. This is not even a franchise mode slap in the face issue. If this shit right here is successful, you're gonna have other bullshit in the game that has nothing to do with football. QB1 had something to do with football. Superstar mode had something to do with football. All of a sudden, you're gonna have this bullshit where you're gonna have Voltron and you're gonna have, you're gonna have goddamn the Hornet car from them Daytona USA starting to be in these fucking games because this shit makes money.
Yeah.
I have a question, DJ.
Yeah, okay.
So let's say 2K, right? 2K gives you everything you want. It gives you all the franchise elements you want. My career is really great. Gameplay is really great. Let me ask you a question. If they put SpongeBob in 2K, would you care when you have all that?
Okay, now flip that. Did Madden give you everything you wanted?
No.
Flip that. Did Madden give you everything you wanted? Because you're basing it on the premises that's not there. That's not fair.
You're not even letting me make the point. You're jumping on every sentence I say. Oh my God, I'm gonna bro.
Exactly. How you gonna compare the 2K giving you everything when Madden has it?
Sounds like you're starting off this New Year's with a bang.
Yes, we are, because it's bullshit.
I haven't even made my point yet.
Yeah,
you don't even know where I'm going. You're literally just jumping on shit. You sound like one of them parents that are like, "Oh, so my child ain't doing homework now?" Like, bro,
you got that right. And if KB3 ain't doing homework, he getting his ass whooped. Damn right.
Wow. Okay.
He gonna do his homework.
So DJ, what's your answer to that question?
Okay, so it kind of is ongoing with 2K because it is a ton of bullshit in 2K, but as long as it stays in the online portion, because I don't play online,
right?
They can have that. Most of their experiences, like the players that play online, their experiences are marred by online issues. Mine aren't. Now, when those online issues start interfering with my offline activities, which reared its ugly head last year, then we have a problem.
Okay. So VF, before you have a fucking coronary over there, the point of my statement was this. You just said SpongeBob had nothing to do with franchise updates.
No, it has nothing to do with football, period.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with football, right? So then why are you jumping on me asking, what did Madden get everything? You just said it had nothing to do with that, right?
No. This is my whole premise about this. I'll say it again. He has nothing to do with football.
Okay.
If this shit is successful, people are going to if this shit is successful, just remember, in the next Madden 22, you might have Star Wars in the fucking game. You might have some Care Bears. You might have some bullshit in the game that's going to be a priority over just making a simulation football game.
And here's my thing. I'm with DJ. I'm sorry, but if that shit's online, why do I give a fuck if the game eventually gives me everything?
No. How will we know that?
Look.
How do we know what?
And even if it's online, that's still more resources that has nothing to do with the offline gamer.
What I'm saying is, if they're doing that bullshit over there and it has nothing to do with me, why am I having a coronary?
Because it has nothing to do with you. That's why. That money that they use the Nickelodeon, that money needs to go to the gamers that been asking for franchise mode.
Now hold on. Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. Now,
I'm just saying. Would you like?
Yeah.
Would you? I'm serious.
Yeah.
Would you like for them to use that money that they paid Nickelodeon for SpongeBob to put in franchise mode?
And this is why I asked the 2K question. This is exactly why.
Take a few moments, just sit back, listen.
He's not getting what I'm saying.
No, but here's the thing. VF is actually striving to a point that Bills I made in the conversation you and I had earlier about sacrifices. There are sacrifices being made to. This could have been time spent in working on resources to make certain updates better. Obviously, this has nothing to do with gameplay. This has nothing to do with football in general. This looks like it's going to wind up in Superstar KO, which, when they didn't have Superstar KO, they sacrificed personnel and time and money to put in a mode in the middle of the Madden 20. What is it? It came in Madden 20, correct? Superstar KO, right? Yep. So they sacrificed resources in order to put that mode in the game, and they also sacrificed in making franchise better. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, that SpongeBob thing, obviously that costs money because that's licensing. Right. That's money that could have gone into pay into people that could have been allocated to work on the game and make. I know there's a zone patch that's coming out. That probably could have came out sooner if they would have spent some money more towards that. More franchise updates, better franchise updates. Hell, they basically lied about franchise before the game even came out. So they wasted time lying to folks about a mode that they supposedly were supposed to work on. So they've already sacrificed a ton of things in order to get bullshit.
And this circles back to my point. Mm-hmm. They lied in Madden 20. They lied in Madden 21. But SpongeBob's the fucking breaking point? How?
Yes.
For me, here's the thing. For I think for certain people it's a breaking point. I know for me, this is beyond the breaking point.
Right.
Like I haven't bought. I played the game and played it through EA Play Pro, but I haven't bought the game. So it's just,
this is the thing. This is the thing. We all have our levels of breaking point because I said that with the Superstar KO, nobody gave a fuck about franchise mode because they put a whole new mode in it. I get it. That was a level where I said, you know what, I can't do this. I have no faith in them making a better franchise mode because they did that. Now. I get it, and I'm not even like don't get it twisted. I'm not sitting here hoping and praying that franchise mode to get better, and I'm waiting for Madden 22. I've never really stated that. I'm just gonna continue to see what they do because I haven't played Madden 21 since November. But when you're gonna tell us that you're constantly updating the game for this whole situation that happened with Frick's franchise mode, and you turn around and put some SpongeBob type of thing in the game. What does that? I mean, this is like what the fuck? It's like this is not even a breaking point with me. Is I can see where the average person they're like, all right, this has nothing to do with football, regardless of what you're doing. Y'all have to realize that gameplay wise or not, y'all are allocating resources to bullshit that has nothing to do with the sport. Y'all supposed to be advertising the sport. Y'all supposed to be trying to rectify and polish the sport is based on your gameplay. Now, I'm pretty sure they paid a pretty penny for SpongeBob because SpongeBob is a very, very popular character for kids. And we already know how these video games are. Madden is somewhat catered to kids at this point. There's no thing between that. But I know they paid a good bit of money to get this guy. That could have been... I'm just gonna throw a random number out there. That probably could have been 4 jobs, maybe 3 jobs of people who could have probably programmed the game to give you at least a better mode and gameplay alone. 3 guys who could have helped program the game to give you a better franchise mode. Those jobs are going because you got this damn cartoon character in the game now. That's the problem. And if this shit is successful, you're going to see more of it. That's the slap in the face to everybody. Fuck football. You're going to be playing Nickelodeon.
But the point that I was making before was by asking about 2K. It's easy to say this now that Madden is in the shit show position it is, but when I asked you about what it was about, you said it's not about gameplay, it's not about franchise.
It's about allocation of resources.
Okay. So, but you didn't say that. What you said was it wasn't about football and it wasn't about Madden franchise. And the point I was making when I asked DJ that question was, you can sit here and say this when a game is not in that position, but is that strictly why you're saying that? And that
let me tell you. For the most part, most of the games are in that position. And with that being said, you don't want stuff like this happening in your game. 2K, maybe MLB The Show is probably the two, and PES. And I'm saying loosely with MLB The Show because that has issues in its own. But those games are closer than Madden, but still, you still don't want to see. Look at the shit Complimentary Sports said. Power Rangers and Madden 20. I would not be surprised. If this shit is successful, I would not be surprised they have some money going to shit like that. Why? Once again, spec proof. They're going to have anime in a football game. Watch Dragon Ball Z is next. Look at this. Joe Numbers. This is the promise stage. VF is right. With SpongeBob, I promise you it won't. Especially if this shit is successful.
Wait a minute. Freezing up on this video.
Wait a minute. This is not the priming stage. We've seen this. We saw this in Fortnite.
I'm talking about Madden, but Fortnite is already cartoonish.
But he said the priming stage.
It is for Madden. It is for Madden.
Madden, the priming stage was Superstar KO when you bought Madden 20.
No. Listen, Superstar KO was what? It was an arcade style football game.
Wait.
Superstar KO was Madden 19.
But it was an arcade style football game. It was football.
It was a priming stage for bullshit that comes before franchise mode.
No. Okay, but I can deal with that because it's football. You're putting football, some form of football in the game. I don't accept it, but I will accept Superstar KO before I accept SpongeBob.
Go ahead, DJ.
The priming stage was Madden Ultimate Team. This has been going on for a decade now. I'm like, it started because the microtransactions started there.
That has nothing. Microtransactions has nothing to do with SpongeBob.
Yes, it.
But
does.
my thing,
it will. When it
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why real quick. Microtransactions with Madden Ultimate Team was basically fantasy football, and everybody know that was popular. That's football. What does SpongeBob have to do with that?
Apparel.
Wait, okay,
that they can put on their players in Superstar KO.
Well, hold on, no. Here's another question I have. Yeah. How can we say that gameplay sizzle trailers aren't for us, but when SpongeBob gets put in the game, we spaz out?
Because you know what gameplay is? It's football.
But the point I'm making is it has nothing to do with us. And you're making a big deal.
And that's the problem. It should be. It should be.
Why should, if we're not going to play the mode, why does it matter? It has nothing to do with us. We said we weren't.
Because it's money that should go to it's money that should go to the football in football.
Look.
But it wasn't gonna either way. It would be something else regardless.
And that is the problem.
Okay, so don't make it about SpongeBob and say acting like SpongeBob is the root of the issue.
It is.
Here's the deal. It's the fact that there's stuff that will have nothing to do with us in particular as gamers. There are other gamers that it will affect. Now, those are the ones, right now you're talking about your casual gamers, those are the ones that are going to be attracted to those. But what they don't realize is that by falling for these gimmicks, it drowns us out to be able to say, hey, they're drawing you in to justify why they're putting shenanigan number 1 and shenanigans number 2 in the game. And, and they're able to use numbers to be like, well, we got this many users in the game because all of a sudden they like to put on SpongeBob apparel armbands in the game or the arm pads or the cleats and stuff like that. I'm like, it could be, let's see, because I wouldn't see this as all bad because now you're talking about, the my cleat, my cause theme that they really should have focused on. If anything, forget SpongeBob. They really should have started there with items that people, because you really want to attract people. Use something that's currently going on in the NFL, not some random ass bullshit like SpongeBob.
And you know what, DJ? I would have had no problem with that because it's going on in the NFL. I would not have a problem with that. I'm with you on that. If they would have put Alvin Kamara Christmas shoes in the game, I would have had no problem with that.
See, and that's funny because they didn't really do anything for the holidays. They did absolutely nothing.
But it would have made sense because one of your top premier players is doing something that could be deemed as popular to other, people who watch NFL. Like, it's almost the same thing when they put Kaepernick in the game. Kaepernick is a well-known football player. They did that as good service. I have no problem with that. He's football. He plays football. He's a football quarterback. He's an NFL quarterback. Even if they're putting this stuff as apparel, I still find it to be highly useful. Everybody from the tournament players to the comp players to the sim player, everybody who like football should be looking at the shit like, what the fuck? Because regardless if it's just apparel, it has nothing to do with betterment of the game. There's nothing there to tell me that it does.
No, because wait a minute. No, we're not going to do that. Because wait a minute. Some people don't give a fuck about the betterment of the game. So why would they give a fuck about SpongeBob?
Because the reason, okay, some of them don't, but the ones that do that are in every sector should.
But my point to you is the people who are playing this game and have no issue with it, why are they going to say, oh, fuck, they put SpongeBob in the game?
But the ones who, I'm 100% with you. And I don't expect them to change their mind about loving the game. But the ones who do give a fuck, they should. They shouldn't just blow this off.
But you just said everybody.
And I know, and you corrected me, and I don't have a problem with being corrected. You're right. But the ones who do give an inch of a fuck about the game should be like, look, I care about enough this game that I don't want to see the yellow motherfucker in the game. I want to see something else that's related to football.
But VF, we had the same reaction with Superstar KO, and we still bought the game. So
no. We had a discussion saying like, hey, they don't give a damn about franchise mode, but I also said, hey, continue to play the game because it does give you a similar, a good football experience. I said that. And I will still say that Madden 21 can give you a good football experience, but when it comes to allocation of money,
wait a minute.
If this shit is successful, you can forget that shit.
Wait a minute. VF, you said you haven't played the game since November 21st.
I have not.
Why did you stop?
But the reason why I stopped because of franchise mode. Okay, and when SpongeBob comes in there and makes a ton of money, they're going to put another damn character in the game and another one, and all that money that goes to the characters don't go to franchise mode.
But the thing is, from my perspective, if I'm enjoying the game year in, year out, and the gameplay stays the same or gets better,
that is your 100% right.
No, but hold on. If I continue to enjoy the game and it continues to improve year to year, and they put SpongeBob in, why should I give a fuck about SpongeBob?
Because that is your level of enjoyment and that's your level of improvement. My thing is, once you get SpongeBob in there, then you put Squidward and you put what is that damn that ugly ass starfish and all these other motherfuckers in the game, and you keep putting money there. The level, I believe that the level of improvement would be better if you don't put the motherfuckers in the game and put that money to the improvement of the game.
But the thing is, my point, I guess, is if it wasn't going to go to SpongeBob,
it could go to franchise mode.
No, obviously. But what I'm saying is, if it wasn't going to go to SpongeBob, we've seen in past precedent just last year, it's going to go somewhere else. So
if it's and you know what? To be honest with you, if it's football related, you wouldn't hear a peep out of me.
Wait a minute, hold on. Their pattern is that they've kept it out of meaningful modes like franchise mode. If anything that has anything to do with like fantasy, they keep it in mud.
But this is why,
and that's what I'm saying. If they keep it football related, I will bitch and moan. But you know what? It's football related. I'm not going to be as uptight as I am now. You're basically saying fuck football at this point. Why would I even worry about it?
But it's not fixing what we want though. So what is it? It's still counterproductive to what we're looking for.
No. It's not. It is counterproductive. That's why I'm not playing the game. This is just giving me more reason not to play it because now you're putting money to other places. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that the game is terrible. I'm not telling nobody don't play the game. I'm not even saying that. But I'm just looking at 2-3 years down the road. If this shit is successful at the end of the year, I promise you by Christmas time they might have them some sleigh ride that you can play or some bullshit for Santa Claus in the game, and kids gonna eat that up just like they did SpongeBob. More shit that they're putting in the game that could be going to actual football issues.
Okay, now
that's my problem.
Now let me ask you something, because are we concerned? Okay, are we concerned about the character himself?
No.
In the game? So
it's not necessarily character. It could be any character that's unrelated to football.
No. But what I'm saying is, because we're talking about this because of SpongeBob. That's the reason why we're even discussing. Right. Are we talking about, okay, if it's on apparel like cleats and stuff like that? Because I could show you a picture of Odell Beckham Jr., Mohamed Sanu, SpongeBob cleats.
And that will be the area where I will fall back on. If it's on apparel like that, I will fall back on. But the way this is touted, it doesn't look that way.
Yeah, but if we only see a date and the character, that's all we see. So that's why,
and you know what? Even with that, even if I fall back on that, it's still allocated funds to go to something that should be football related.
But the thing about it is,
cleats are football.
Because even with the Kamara stuff that's Christmas related, that could be just a design that an artist could put out. You put money to get SpongeBob.
But my thing is, here's the thing. I'll give you an example, like 2K, for example. They could put fucking the Harlem Globetrotters in the game, and that's not fixing the player movement. So why would I care if it was the Harlem Globetrotters?
You know what?
But I'm saying,
I get you on that.
If it's the Harlem Globetrotters or Elmo, either way,
I get you. Now, that's where we differ. Harlem Globetrotters is a legendary basketball group. I can see people playing with that group because it's basketball. Elmo should not be in 2K at all.
Okay,
period.
Hold on. How about back in the day when we was playing the college football game with the mascots, like in the game on the field playing?
As long as they're not, the thing about that is that was licensed with the license of the college teams.
But you could play with them. There was times.
Yep, that was that comes along with that came along with the license of the college teams. Now I will say this. Now I will say this.
That doesn't do with basketball either because there's something about it.
Now I will say this. Now I will say this. If you turn around and pay money to get like the Air Force guy that flies over the stadiums during games, he comes down and he's playable. Fuck that. He has nothing to do with football. At least with the mascots, they're already licensed. They're already baked into the license that you're getting with the Alabama Crimson Tide or the Georgia Bull. They're already there. So regardless if you get the teams or not, they're along with the license.
Let's go back to the Harlem Globetrotters thing though. So I said Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, the Harlem Globetrotters are playable in a game in which player movement is an issue. So why would I care if they didn't fix player movement? You can put
you should you should not care if you feel that the Harlem Globetrotters is irrelevant to what's going on in 2K as far as them fixing the game. That is your gripe, and I 100% back you on that. My thing is that is based on basketball. Players are going to play a basketball game with basketball people. Now, if you turn around and put the Space Jam characters in the fucking game, I have a problem with that. Okay, they're cartoons.
So wait a minute, though. So
the Harlem Globetrotters is no different than putting other legends in the game, in my opinion.
Okay, so do you have an issue with New Day being in Gears of War?
I didn't even know they were in the game. Why would that be in the game? I didn't even know they were there.
Because people want to use them.
Okay, like, who wants to play a SpongeBob in Madden? Come on, bro.
Watch how many people do it.
These 5-year-olds and above, these grown-ass people are going to do it for videos on YouTube. They're not going to enjoy that shit.
I mean, yeah, you just identify.
And that's the thing. And that's the problem. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. Why is there a market for SpongeBob in a football game? Why is that?
Because Odell Beckham and Mohamed Sanu wore the.
You know what they need to do? All seriousness. You know what they need to do with that? They need to go to make NFL Street, put their asses over there. And I'm dead serious. You can't tell me you're making a simulation football game. You do this type of shit. That's not cool.
Wait. Now, if I just identified 2 NFL players that the actual SpongeBob cleats in a NFL game. If it's in the game, that's what EA says.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I told DJ, did I not tell you I will fall back if it's based on apparel? Did I not say that?
I get it.
I did say that, but still, you still put money to put this character in the game that could have went money to went somewhere else. But I understand that if that's apparel. Now, if this dude is on some other shit that's in the game, I got a problem with that.
I gotta address what Quaface said because I'm calling bullshit on what he said.
What he said.
This is why Madden is the way it is because people just let this shit slide. False. That's not why Madden is the way it is. Let me tell you why Madden is the way it is because I'm calling bullshit on that. Madden is the way it is because it's something called a fan base, and Madden tailored their game towards arcade bullshit in which people play on MUT. We have nothing to fucking do with that. Our small fan base of simulation gamers are not changing the 80 percentile of people that play MUT. So you can talk about us letting shit slide all you want to, but if you play 2K or any other game with bullshit in it, then you're doing the exact same fucking thing. So keep that same energy when you say that people like us are letting shit slide, and that's why the game's in that position, because it's not. We've given them hell on this.
I ain't letting shit slide. I ain't letting shit slide. I ain't bought NBA 2K21. I got Madden on this damn Origin Access, and I haven't played it in 2 months. I can't do this shit no more. I'm not letting this bullshit ride. Fuck that.
But the thing is, it's like, I hate when people say that because it's like, what are we letting slide? It's almost like saying that we let it slide when the ratings are fucked up in 2K. No, it's cool.
You know, to be honest, and for us, it's something that goes along with what we do here. We do to an extent let shit slide because we tell people, even though all the bullshit is here, we find a way to make the unplayable playable.
Wait, don't.
No, we do.
No,
we do. We always try to find we always try to find to make the unplayable playable. We've always done that.
No.
I mean, and that's what makes us stand out.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I told you.
Wait a minute. No.
I was like, Quaface.
I gotta interrupt
that. Yeah.
But I'm saying this is what makes us. Honestly, this is what makes us different from the rest.
No, hold on, VF. We're not gonna let that shit slide. You
what
want to
happened?
talk about shit sliding? Let's talk about.
What are you talking about?
White Knight.
Oh, let me look at the comments. I'm sorry. Let me look at the comments. That's what. No. I'm gonna put that up. I didn't see that.
So Quaface, you're claiming that I'm white knighting for Madden because I said that we already know what's happening in the game and it's been a trend. That's white knighting for Madden. So me saying that franchise is fucked up and asking a hypothetical question of whether people would care about SpongeBob if the game actually was good and in the right place means I'm white knighting for Madden. Bro, here's my thing with you fake Madden haters, bro. You come to this podcast and you listen to us talk about Madden for weeks upon weeks, right? And when we're talking all the shit in the world about Madden, negative, y'all just go and, oh, yeah, that shit's right. Y'all preaching today. And then the moment I say something like, God forbid I say, we already know they're not going to fix the game, that's somehow white knighting for Madden. So that's my thing, bro. If you came here to hear hate, why don't you go over to Shutdown Safety's channel? Because you're not going to hear bullshit over here. I'm going to tell you facts about the situation with Madden. Like, how am I letting it slide? What the fuck are you even talking about right now? I don't play the mode. What am I supposed to do? Okay, okay, Quaface. You know what I'll do? I'm going to write a sign that says, no money if you put SpongeBob in Madden. Or I'm going to go outside and I'm going to carry a picket sign and say, what do you want? Madden out of, SpongeBob out of Madden. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? SpongeBob out of Madden. Get the fuck out of here, bro. What do you want me to do? Start a GoFundMe for a refund for them to take SpongeBob out of the game? What are you talking about? You know, technically you're letting the shit slide. Why'd you start a petition by now? Like, get the fuck out of here.
This is just my thing about it. It's like I haven't touched the game because I was not. It does not give me that. It doesn't give me that atmosphere where I feel like I'm living in an alternate universe. We talked about this when the last episode when I play these games. Madden just does not give me that. I will say this, and I'm not saying this because OG just walked in the room. When I play live night the other night and I did a fantasy draft. I created a whole new world within that game with that league, and I'm actually enjoying that off of the first game. I managed to draft LeBron in the fantasy draft. I got Trae Young. I got a whole different. I have a whole different vision of the NBA, and it's something that's unique. I've yet to see Madden do that for me since maybe Madden 25. And I think that when they're, and like I said, I don't know what's going on. This is all speculation. But I feel like when they're allocating the stuff like that, I feel like it's taken away from the immersion that we could possibly have with these other modes that need help. And I think that's one of the things is like, that's what gets me all riled up, because like, if you're going to put stuff that's basketball related in the game, I will rarely have, I ain't gonna say rarely, I will have a problem with it if it's not catered to what I want, but I understand it because it's football related. Maybe Madden could not do a standalone arcade game. That's where the yard came in. Maybe they want the celebrities in the game. That's why they did Superstar KO. I get it because it's still in the realm of the sport. I don't know what the hell SpongeBob is doing in a football game. That makes me like, all right, this other stuff, I'll say like this. You need to show me how this relegates or how this relates to a football game. That's where I'm having an issue at, because there's nobody in the chat. None of you two guys are cool. I don't think nobody can honestly tell me how this Nickelodeon character actually relates to the sport of football. I don't see it.
I'm just waiting for.
I just told you earlier they were on two NFL players' cleats.
Even if that's what I'm saying. Even if it's on the cleats. How does it? It does not. To me, you put a good penny into getting this character. That is money that could have went. They would have better off if they would have just put like wacky cleats, and they could have got an artist in there to actually just make the cleats for them, or they could just put some random designs on the cleats. But when SpongeBob comes in, you put money up there.
I'm just waiting for Quaface to let us know what time we riding out tomorrow to EA headquarters. Because apparently we gotta have road trip. We gotta have signs, and we gotta have the Jimmy Hart speakerphone out there and the megaphone, and we gotta be marching and formation and shit. I mean, I'm letting it slide. So
all sim games matter.
We gotta have shirts that say "Not on my watch." Not on my watch. Oh, fuck out of here! You put your foot in your mouth, and now you're gonna get roasted for the rest of this fucking podcast.
And I think this at the end of the day, I think that's the issue with it. I have an issue with that aspect of it. It's not because I think the game is going to tank or whatever. It's just like allocating resources. It's almost to where, like, even if you feel like they say, hey, sorry guys, I know we was going to do this for Madden 22 when it comes to franchise, but with something that happened and we're going to do this, go in another direction. I'll be just as upset, because it's like, now you're still not even trying to rectify the core of football. It's like, regardless of what, Mutt and Superstar K, all this other stuff, the core of football is playing football and actually having a mode that replicates what you see every week of Sunday, where these teams go out and try to win a championship, and is replicated based on all 32 franchises. They're actually running franchise in all these 32 teams. So you would want to see that get somewhat of a boost. But when you see this goes on, like you said, DJ, I will fall back if it's just apparel. But still, that's still a pretty penny to put on that when this still needs help. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, my last thoughts on this, since I'm the calm head here. Yeah, they already intentionally lied to everybody coming off of last year, so it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're just going to go in a different direction. Screw franchise mode. We got our money. We got our
numbers. And you know what, DJ?
We made our spikes and quotas, and then that's it.
Right.
And you know what, DJ? And that's fine.
I'm glad I didn't buy your dumbass game.
And I would be okay if that was the case. Seriously, I would be okay if that's the case, because that tells me that y'all going to continue to go in this direction that's been giving you, the best success over the past 6, 7, 8, 9 years. I get that. But when you tell me that this is going on, and you come from the top rope with this, it gets to a point where you be like, I'm not surprised, but then again, I'm really surprised because where did this shit come from? That was a little bit extreme in my opinion. It's almost like with 2K, you can see with 2K, and they're doing this, and it's kind of like on the path that they're normally been doing. Then all of a sudden, something way left comes into their game, and they'll be like, I just can't put that in the same realm of, okay, this is the norm of what they do. This is a more of extreme side of it.
Now, here's the thing. I know Bills will get this reference, and I don't know if a lot of people get this reference. This is almost like wrestling against Jerry Lawler. You know you're going to have a foreign object somewhere in that ring, whether it's on his knee pads or if it's in his boots or if it's in a turnbuckle that he finds out later. This is the same thing. You're going up against...
No, it's not, because you normally would see that, and that's not, because you normally see that from Jerry Lawler. No. Now, what if some extreme bullshit happens, like all of a sudden, like some crazy shit out of way left field happens? That's when you be like, wait a minute.
What I'm trying to tell you is that this is intentional. This is all planned. They knew
even if it's planned,
because we're not thinking about
because you know what, now because we know about it, we can say that it's planned. Who thought about SpongeBob in November?
Let's stay with the comparison.
Who here did?
No, VF, let's stay with the comparison. If we're gonna talk about him always having a foreign object to find a way to cheat, this is basically Jerry the King Lawler waiting all the way to the end of the match and going, everything's on the up and up, and everybody's like, it's got to be coming sooner. Like, oh shit, maybe he won't cheat, and then boom, he goes.
Exactly. Yes.
You know what? That's close. That is close. But then again, he cheats with what? What he normally cheats with?
Cheats with
brass knuckles.
A chain.
Right. Now. At the end of the game, but at the end of the match, he pulls out a fucking chainsaw.
And you be like, look
at your face. Now you see what I'm saying? You see how extreme that shit was?
Yeah, but you be like, oh well, damn, he's finding new ways to cheat. That's what it was.
Right, but then again, when you first see that, your ass gonna be like, what the fuck? I thought brass knuckles was coming. This bitch pulls out a chainsaw.
And VF, at the end of the match, when they count 1, 2, 3, what you gonna say? Well, cheaters will be cheaters.
That is 2020 hindsight after the fact. That's 2020.
No, it's not.
That is after the fact because it didn't happen. Yeah, but when it initially happens, when you first see it, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, that's just Jerry the King."
Yeah, we saw the Dr. Dre thing.
I saw it. I'm gonna touch on that in a second. I saw it.
I didn't see it. I wonder if it's him stressing over. That definitely came out of nowhere. But
yeah, I saw that. But I'm just saying, after the. Go ahead. No, I'm just saying.
It's him trying to calm down this whole Snoop Eminem beef.
Who knows? No telling. But I'm saying, after the match is over, you're like, oh, that's Jerry Lawler cheating. But when it initially happens, you'll be like, oh shit, a fucking chainsaw. It's
bro, I didn't even know this. They put Dua Lipa in FIFA. I don't want to hear shit about this because nobody said anything about Dua Lipa in FIFA.
And you know what, Bills? You don't think if I like soccer, you didn't think I would?
But
let's be honest now. Let's be honest. If I like soccer, you think I would?
But it's not.
Come on now.
It's not unprecedented. Is the point.
If I'm a big soccer fan, I would be just as pissed off. Y'all know that. I ain't giving up. If you put the Care Bears in 2K, you fuck around put the Chuck E. Cheese rat in MLB The Show, I'm gonna be just as pissed.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
It's not that you're not gonna be pissed. It's just like, bro, like, what do we? It's just like people said about 2020. Oh, it's 2020. It's Madden. That's what they do.
No. Madden do this shit that we've been talking about. This shit is on extreme. Madden ain't never put no damn Nickelodeon character in a damn game.
No, they're just finding new ways to attract the fucking casual audience.
And that's the problem.
It's par for the course.
That's the problem.
But here's the thing. That's been their their plan for decades.
Right.
At least for the last decade. That's been their plan. It's almost like, okay, this may be a bad example because of the nature of it, but that's just like strangers attracting little kids to their car before they kidnap them. They use things, they use objects, they use candy, they use, hey, I got a video game inside the car, come check it out. It's like stranger danger. But this is the thing, we know that there's nothing but bullshit in that car.
Okay. All right, DJ. I'm 100% with you. They use candy. They're using a video game. They're using a Care Bear. Then they're using SpongeBob. Now, all of a sudden, they're just jumping out of the car, snatching fucking kids up out of nowhere with the parents walking with them. You see how extreme that shit is? Now you be like, oh shit, they don't even give a fuck about the candy no more. They're just taking them in front of the parents. But that's the extreme that I'm talking about.
But that's evolving in the way that you go about whatever you're doing.
Right. And it comes a point where you feel like, you know what? If you're going to tell us you're fixing franchise mode because Wendy's outed you out, when you got this big hashtag going on and you're doing this, and this, you shouldn't pay this money to get this character at this point. That's the problem I have.
I told y'all it's going to be horse shit when they couldn't even give concrete dates of what was going to be in the update. So we knew this was coming.
Nobody knew SpongeBob was coming. Fuck that. Nobody's hearing that.
No.
Forget about SpongeBob, bro.
Yes.
SpongeBob.
I can't. Because next year it's gonna be Power Rangers.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
23 is gonna be Chuck E. Cheese.
Honestly, I won't even be worried about it because I will be someplace else.
SpongeBob is the symbol of your anger, but he is not the root.
He's not. No. SpongeBob's not the symbol of my anger. It's the non-football related stuff that's going into the game. I don't care if it's SpongeBob. I don't care if it's SpongeBob. I don't care if it's any. If it's non-football related, why is it going in the game?
But you're missing.
I had to call BS because this is the first time I seen you get this jacked up about anything man related.
But he's
right, because you know why? Because finally there's non-football shit is being allocated into the game.
But they lied to everyone just this past fall. That didn't anger you?
But DJ,
yes, it did. Did you not see the episodes we did before?
DJ, we're coming full circle.
You're going off on SpongeBob.
But this is how
it's not about SpongeBob. It's not. It's non-football related shit going into the game.
But this is the point I'm making to you, VF. When I said that, the symbol of your anger. For example, for us, black people, what's the symbol of our and I know you're gonna think you know where I'm going, but this is what I'm saying. What's the symbol of our anger? The Confederate flag. What is our anger? Racism. The symbol of your anger is SpongeBob. Temporarily. Next year it might be Teletubbies. Next year it might be Care Bears. The symbol of your anger is SpongeBob. The root of your anger, and this is why I asked the question before, is the fact the game's not where you want it to be. True or false?
Is the fact it's not where it want to be.
Okay.
And if it needs to get there, SpongeBob should not be added.
Okay, so that's my point is your anger is towards the fact that the game is not where you want it to be. The casualty is the fact that it happens to be SpongeBob. That's the point. That's the point of this whole thing. It could have been Teletubbies, could have been Care Bears, it could have been fucking Dua Lipa, it could have been whoever the fuck, could have been Karl Malone's bitch ass. The point is that it's the symbol of your anger. That's the point I'm making. The game needs to be in a better place regardless of what bullshit they're adding. And to me, I know you disagree, but I'm going to say it. I don't care whether it's football related or not. If you're not fixing the issues in your game, it could be football related in a completely other mode that I don't play. I won't give a fuck. Fix your game.
Period. All right. And on that note, let's wrap this topic up and move on.
Let's talk about the playoffs. Complimentary.
Yes.
Let's talk about the playoffs. So
yeah, we need to get to the playoffs.
That's fine. What are the seeds?
Okay,
Green Bay to Super Bowl. That's all I know.
All right, so what's it? NFC, you have Green Bay, you have Seattle, you have.
I got it right here.
Green Bay, Seattle.
I got it.
Oh yeah.
I got it. All right, so the playoff picture as it stands right now. If this bitch would load, because I just had it. All right, here we go. So the Green Bay's the 1 seed. Okay, and let's do the AFC first. So the Chiefs are the 1 seed. They won the AFC West, 14-2.
Hold on,
Bills are the.
Let me see if I can get this up. Hold on.
Bills are the 2 seed.
Keep talking. You good?
Steelers are the 3 seed. Titans are the 4 seed. So basically, the Chiefs get a first round bye. The Bills are gonna face the Colts.
What? Hold on. Let me see if I can.
The Bills are gonna face the Colts.
Keep talking. Let me see if I can.
Steelers,
can't say the image.
The Steelers are gonna face the Browns. And the Titans are going to face the Ravens. So that's the AFC. And then the NFC, the Packers get a bye. The Saints are going to face the Bears.
Yep.
The Seahawks are going to face the Rams, and Washington is home against the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can see the Saints getting upset again in the first round. Chicago can rush the passer without blitzing. They have 2 good cover corners. Mitch Trubisky's been playing pretty well. And Breeze is already 1 foot out the door saying he's going to retire. So, I mean, it's a recipe for an upset. So Bishop said Bills is like Warren Sapp. Must look like money then.
Hey, you don't. Never mind. I'm going to say something about. Never mind. Keep talking.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, so, I mean, let's go back to the AFC. I mean,
I got the bracket up, so the bracket's on the screen.
What upsets do y'all see here?
I see. Cleveland got that situation, and with COVID again, they can't get rid of it. So that's not.
Well, I would say Titans, Ravens, but Titans are 4 seed, so that's not an upset.
I think Colts can go in and pull the upset.
No, Colts beating the Bills. I mean, Bills beating the Colts.
I can see it.
Colts got a good defense, but I think the Bills is going to beat them.
The issue is the Bills can't run the ball.
And in the playoffs, no matter how good your passing is, if you can't run the ball,
you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. I think the Bills are going to beat the Colts. I don't see the Colts doing anything against the Bills defense.
I don't know.
I don't see it.
I mean, it is Phillip Rivers, but still.
Yeah.
It looks like everything may go as planned from what I see.
Because the Bills, it's funny, a little joke about the Bills, because they signed Earl Thomas, and somebody from Baltimore was like, yeah, I'm hearing there was an arms race a little bit, because did Marshawn get signed up by who did he get signed up by?
Marshawn. Now Marshawn's back? What is going on here?
I don't know if that was a fake article or not.
Yeah, I don't think Marshawn has signed anybody.
I heard Earl Thomas got picked up by the Bills, and somebody from Baltimore was like, well, there goes the Titans fullback signed up by the Bills.
I don't see that.
I think it may have been a fake article, but I saw that somewhere.
No, he ain't get signed nobody.
Anyway. They don't need him anyway. They have 2 good safeties. They got Micah Hyde and
I think the closest one that I see out of all of them, I could see the Bears possibly beating the Saints. I could see that. That's like the closest thing, but everything else like it's gonna go as planned. The Ravens, I guess.
I think the Rams could beat the Seahawks, and I think Washington could beat Tampa too.
But I don't see the Ravens Ravens over Titans as an upset. I truly believe that the Ravens are a better team, but the Titans have their Henry, so that's an X factor. But overall, the Ravens have a better team, so if they do beat them, I don't find that as an upset.
I look at it like this: the 2 games for the weekend are going to be Titans, Ravens, Washington, Tampa. The
2, 4, and 5 games look like they're going to be good games.
Yeah, I mean,
that.
I think there should be serious consideration that Washington beats Tampa Bay at home just based on that pass rush.
I just as far as that game is concerned, now
Washington is hosting, right?
Yeah, they're hosting. But the thing about Washington is the fact that they right now at quarterback, they're tinkering with possibly rotating in Heineke for with Smith. I'm like, and that's based on Smith's mobility because that calf is still strained out. So we have to figure out whether I'm just like this. Look, we have a run game that we don't typically go to it, but at the same time, it looks like Gibson is not with that toe injury because he has turf toe. He's been recovering from that, and I'm looking at the way he was running. He's not running the same way he was before the injury, and it's obvious. It's a painful injury. Bills, I don't know if you've had turf toe as a running back. That is not so, and you can tell he's trying to make these cuts, and it's slow. He's being cautious. I don't know if that's because he wants to save himself for a game like this. He may play differently, but we'll see. But I see Washington going more of a run-oriented. I see a lot of misdirection to try to slow down Tampa Bay's rushers because Alex is going to need that extra time to find his receivers. I don't know what condition McLaurin is going to be in because he has a high ankle sprain that he's playing on. But as far as on defense, We have the tools to stop Tom Brady, and we don't have to blitz. We have 4 guys that if you more than likely Tampa is going to triple team Chase Young, and it's going to leave everybody else one-on-one. And that's going to be a disadvantage for Brady because then he's got to sacrifice a check down guy in order to pick up Chase Young on one side. And they're going to move Chase around. So Brady's going to have to figure out where he's at all times.
So I think what State of Franchise Mode said about the Rams game is interesting because, I mean, people forget the Seahawks offensive line still isn't very good. The Rams are so up and down as far as offense is concerned. I mean, one week they look like they did a couple years ago. Then the next week they just look putrid. I could see the Rams going in and beating the Seahawks, and I wouldn't consider that an upset. I think the Seahawks,
I'm with you on that. Seahawks so sporadic lately on offense. I'm with you on that.
They're very fraudulent. Their defense is, to be kind, suspect. But Washington and Tampa Bay is one I'm seriously worried about as a Tampa Bay fan because, I mean, half the time we can't run the ball. Got to be able to run the ball in the playoffs. Fournette's been in and out of the lineup. Mm-hmm. And Mike Evans had a knee situation, but it seemed like it wasn't too serious. Obviously, we have the receivers to make up for that. We have so many targets. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, sometimes Bruce Arians has his head up his ass as far as the offensive play calling, too. So, I mean, that's another thing. If he's calling plays that are slow developing plays and Tom Brady can't get the ball out of his hands, Chase Young's going to be in the backfield all fucking game. So that one's going to be interesting, even if only for a couple quarters. It's going to be interesting. I think the game I'm looking most forward to, though, is the Steelers and the Browns game. I think that might be the game of the week as far as.
And all them COVID players over there on the Browns, man.
Oh shit! Why I forget about that?
I don't see the Browns beating them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, their head coach is not even going to be there to coach.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even look at that game. And like I said, everything is basically going pretty much as planned. Outside of the Bears probably beating the Saints. Everything else, the Seahawks will probably lose to the Rams. And other than that, I don't see nothing else that is actually surprising. Like I said, if the Ravens beat the Titans, I mean, the Ravens are a more complete team. But who's going to stop Derrick Henry? But it's like I'm looking at all of it. I still don't. I don't see Washington beating Bucks because you got Tom Brady and he still got weapons. But I wouldn't be surprised if Washington beat because they do have the defense.
The Titans have laid an egg quite a few times this year, though. So I'm not about to sit here and act like they're, Derrick Henry is going to be the end all. I mean, shit, we saw that last year.
I mean, to be honest with you, he is the end all be all. If he don't get going, they're flat.
Well, what I'm saying is, I don't
you've seen a couple of plays by
win that game for them against the Ravens. I think that there's a complete and utter possible situation where the Ravens could come out and do what the Chiefs did to them last year, and that's the point.
Scott OG said Ramsey has dominated Metcalf thus far. That is something else you got to look into as well.
I want to address the next thing he said, though.
What's that?
About Chase Young doing the most. Because first of all, OG, don't fall for what the media is putting out there. The media is making that little thing at the end of the Philly game a lot bigger than what it really is. He's a young, excited player to make the playoffs in his rookie year. He's hopping up and down. He's excited. He wants the competition. Why are we ridiculing a man for wanting to go up against? No. But what I'm saying is, they're saying he's calling out, like the media literally is like, oh, he's calling out Tom Brady, blah blah blah. They're like making the situation bigger than what it is. It's not all that. It's a slow news day, and they needed something to, along with this shit that's going on between Philly and New York.
What did people say about Michael Jordan? He doesn't need much to motivate himself. But don't even mention his name.
But the thing is,
his name.
We can't. But the thing is, it's like in this situation,
In this
situation, he's running off the field. He's excited.
That's great.
He's not being interviewed by anybody.
That's fine.
So what I'm saying is that, okay, if the media wasn't there, we wouldn't have heard this. We probably would have heard word by word. But what I'm saying
hypotheticals don't factor in here. It doesn't matter. It happens.
Yes, it happened.
It happened.
But what I'm saying is what the media is able to do with it.
But here's the thing.
So he can't say nothing running off the field?
DJ, don't do that. What everybody's saying. What people are saying is simple. You don't give a guy who doesn't need any inspiration more inspiration. It's just like Damian Lillard's words were taken out of context. What he said about Steph. It's just like Damian Lillard's words got taken out of context about what he's saying about Stephen Curry, and the next thing you know, 62 got dropped on his head, and everybody was wondering why. You don't tug on Superman's cape. Just keep your mouth shut and play football. But
here's the thing. That's what he's been doing most of the year, and that's the way he plays.
Fine.
So he's supposed to just shut up all of a sudden because now he's going against Tom Brady.
Hey, pick your battles.
He's showing no fear. Nobody's even talking about that. That's the crazy part.
Pick your battles.
You should be afraid of Tom Brady.
Pick your battles. Hey,
it's not. You know, it's not about being afraid. You have to understand a man who's been to the playoffs. What, 18 out of the 20 years he played?
AFC playoffs.
What that's supposed to mean?
Come on with that.
Hey, you know what? He's in the NFC now. That makes it more impressive because he made it in the NFC.
But even it's not even that. It's just. Pick your battles. Know who you're picking your battles with. It's not about being scared, but why give bulletin board material like OG is saying? That's what everybody loves Bill Belichick. One of his mantras was no bulletin board material, right?
So basically, Bruce Arians also pulled even with that. Because then on the other end, he issued a warning. That escalates situations even further.
Be careful what you wish for.
Right, but then at the same time, it can backfire on Bruce. So
it could backfire. Bruce
And,
Arians is an asshat. There's a lot of shit that can backfire on him.
Right.
We're talking about. Hey, no. We're talking about.
But what I'm saying, we are talking about Chase Young making a statement as he's running off the field. I get that, but this is related to the fact that they're blowing this up because it's Tom Brady. If Chase Young had said anybody else's, everybody's be like, oh yeah, he's excited or whatnot. But because it's Tom Brady, he's asking for it.
You know why? No, DJ, you know why? Because that man has a resume that you don't want to mess with. The man been in the playoffs how many times, Bills? In this 20 years?
Too many. 18?
Like 18 out of 20 years, he's been to the Super Bowl. How many times in 11 years? 9 out of 11 years?
9.
Man, I'm just waiting for
listen. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. No, on the real, I can see if Washington was playing the Seahawks, and you can say what seriously. You can say what you want about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson been to the Super Bowl twice, won one, but I can see him talking more noise to him because not only he feels like that offensive line is not that good, it's been a while since they've been there. So I get it. Tom Brady has only been removed from the Super Bowl. How many years? 2 years? If that. I mean, this dude is, and he's still playing at a pretty high level. You don't want to give somebody who gets y'all bullshit it y'all not. Tom Brady gets motivated by stuff like this. Y'all don't know that.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's just giving Washington motivation to not be scared of Tom Brady. Everybody else here with their.
But the state of franchise mode says shit talk or not, the team that plays better will win. This is a non-story and motivating for a lot of players. Yeah, we're not talking about a lot of players. We're talking about the greatest of all time. Stop acting like this is
a lot of. A lot of people like what Bill said. A lot of people said like with Brady, Michael, even to some extent when LeBron. You
Darryl
see
Wilkins,
like these
Deshaun Stevenson.
That you see these other players who take words like y'all may not think they do, but y'all turn around and see that they perform at a high level the next night or the next time they compete, and you be like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." Y'all saw that. You saw the night when LeBron went 45 and 15 on the Celtics when everybody thought he was down.
Bro, there was a random Tuesday where they faced the Raptors and Chris Bosh's girlfriend was talking shit at the end of the game, talking shit to him, and they were up by like 10 or 15. And at the end of the game, after LeBron took over, he said, I was coasting, I was chilling, but they brought it out of me.
But that's the same thing with the same thing with Michael. Mike finds some of the smallest, the dumbest shit to find to have motivation. He dropped 38 on you. He drops 38 on you by 3 quarters. Like,
I took that personal.
Right. So, I mean, it's like, bro. I get what you're saying. It's like, but Tom Brady is one of those guys that have this, he has this tier of success where, you may not want to say nothing to that guy. Like I said, if it was Russell Wilson, yeah, he won a ring, but I see it. If it's Drew, even Drew Brees, all those passing yards. If you want to talk shit about Drew Brees, people may be more inclined to say don't poke the bear, but I get it because it's like, I'm going up against somebody that I know. Even if I do talk shit to him, he has the ability to choke at certain times. It happens. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers, another one. As talented as he is, he has a chance to actually be like not wanting to live up to those expectations when you talk shit. Anybody else you might not want to do it the Patrick Mahomes because he does take it personally, and even though he has a smaller resume, he just has the talent to just outshine you. But Ben Roethlisberger is another one. Anybody else on this list, you probably want to talk shit to. Brady's not the one that I don't think you want to do it. That's just my saying.
I remember when Anthony Smith on the fucking Steelers talked shit to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady would probably look the other way any other time. And he guaranteed a win for the Steelers, and guess what? They got their faces kicked the fuck in. And that's the thing, bro. You don't give people extra motivation. You don't do it, period. You don't. I mean, it's so simple. Go out and play football.
I was taught not to be afraid.
It's not afraid.
I'm telling you. Okay, Bill, I'm telling you how I was brought up in this sports game. Doesn't matter who it is on the other side. Don't be afraid. If that's the way you play the game, if that's the way you motivate yourself as an individual, and as for your teammates on your team, continue to to do that. Don't be afraid. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No.
45-3 in the end.
Because
wonder how you got that ass whooping.
Here's the problem: because people are too worried about the consequence. Of talking.
Because we've seen it happen.
We've seen it happen, right?
We haven't seen it happen yet. The game is Saturday night. It hasn't even happened in this game. And these two teams historically are 1-1 in the playoffs. They've played each other twice. Washington's beating.
But you know what? You know. This is another thing.
Tampa's only beating Washington once.
Before we go to the concrete draft spots, because we're gonna talk about probably the first 5 or 10
against the number 1 ranked team.
You know another person who wasn't as successful that was like this as well, and people talk shit on him. He turn around and find a way to beat you. Tim Tebow was this type of dude too. You talk shit about he can't do this, do that, and all of a sudden you look up and you lose in a damn game. And it's like there's some athletes just like they use that type of shit. Like when you talk shit about, you think I can't do this? Oh, what? Just same thing right here. What the state of franchise sports said, MJ, they ain't give the right color game in the locker room. And draw 50 on your hand. It's like, some players are like that. And when you see people that have that line of attitude and behavior, and you seen things like that happen, you might not want to say anything.
There's so many examples of it. It's like hilarious how many examples there are of this, and people are still like, you can't be scared. It has nothing to do with fear.
I tell you what, if I was planning a riot on a plantation, I ain't having.
And you know what? And you know what else? And you know what, Bills? What happened when Tim Tebow and them beat the Steelers that one in that playoff game?
They was talking,
and everybody was talking, and everybody was talking with smack about how the Broncos was going to go to New England and beat them, and Tom Brady ended up throwing it was like 21-7 after like the first quarter, something like that. Yeah. It's like, shit like that. Like, you think this kid's gonna beat me? All right, I got something from you. I got something for you. And before you know, it's like 28-3 or 28-7 in the second quarter. It's
Joe Numbers, this is the
I would
thing.
have cut both y'all.
Joe Numbers says a
Y'all was
lot
going
of
to the game scared.
yeah. The coach will cut your ass for getting your team's
Not
ass
me.
whooped for running your mouth. Joe Numbers said a lot of greatness comes from intimidation.
Right.
You know what else greatness comes from? Greatness also comes from motivation.
And you know what? And speaking of 28-3, Tom Brady probably saw that shit happen at halftime. He probably heard shit while going into the locker room.
Oh, here we go.
I'm being up. Bills, am I lying?
Hold on.
He probably heard shit from the fans. No, seriously.
Now you're being
No,
paranoid.
No, I'm not being paranoid, but this could possibly happen. He probably heard shit walking into the locker room, fans yelling at him, this, that, and the third, and he probably went in the locker room and probably heard some shit that he didn't like, and he got everybody motivated, and you saw what happened.
I have a story for y'all, and I swear to God, this ain't cap. Swear to God. The Giants, Patriots game, the first Super Bowl. When they went down and scored, and Moss caught that touchdown, and they went up. The Patriots players were talking shit to the Giants walking off the field, and they said, "Hey, the game's over, bro. I don't know why y'all even came on the field today. We beat y'all in the regular season. We gonna beat y'all again. The game's over, right?" Talking all that shit. Can't make this up. And they went on the field. Eli drove down the field. David Tyree catch obviously was luck, but that's motivation that you just don't give people. I'm sure we've all had that situation where somebody was running their mouth before the game, and you're like, "All right, bro."
Or not just the game, in any situation.
I was trying to chill today, but you bringing it out of me now. You bringing it out of me. I was trying to chill. That's not being fearful. There's a fine line between being fearful and being a fucking idiot. I mean, it's that simple. There's a fine line between that.
I'm just saying, when a person is being recorded running off the field after they just won a division title in a trashy-ass division in their rookie year, you already know. I'm like, you kind of know. Like, here's the thing to your point. He doesn't know any better. I get it as a rookie.
Okay.
But that's not the way he plays. Accept it.
That's fine.
But just because that's not the way he plays, you don't know what may happen with the game plan they might use against him.
I think everyone knows.
So,
the coaching staff, I think everyone. That's why there's not just him that Tampa has to worry about.
So here's my thing. So when Chase Young goes and has 2 tackles, no sacks, no quarterback hits, what do we say about this? We just say that he went out and played, and it's fine that he talked all that shit and he didn't back it up. Okay, bro. All right.
Well,
all
because here's the thing: the respect was given to him because remember, at one point in the season, everybody check this out. At one point in the middle of the season, there were Washington fans calling him a bust. I don't know what drugs they were on. When you look at the tape,
Redskins fans.
But you look at the tape, there were 3 people on him. He's a rookie. What rookie in the league gets 3 set of eyes and maybe a 4th?
Chase Young.
So he's already commanding that much respect that Tampa is going to be aware of him. Tom Brady is already aware of him.
Yep.
But there's going to be so much focus drawn on him. It's going to leave Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen,
that's not guaranteed,
and Deron Payne.
But that's not guaranteed to be.
And Ryan Kerrigan's coming off fresh.
Him talking might have just altered that completely.
No, it didn't.
They might think all he's gonna do is hype himself up and go ahead and make mistakes.
Nope.
Get too far upfield, screen right behind you. There's plenty of ways this can work out.
That's true. There are possibilities. But here's the thing. Until that happens, keep doing what you're doing, Rook.
Okay.
Get them boys motivated to play in the playoffs because it's the playoffs. Don't be quiet. Don't be going in there all quiet and waving a white flag because it's Tom Brady. Fuck that motherfucker.
Keep doing what you're doing, work.
I hope Tom Brady hears this. Fuck you. I hope we kill your team.
Keep doing what you're doing.
And you know what's funny? Because I came into this trying to be cautious and was thinking, well, I think Tampa could probably like run the score up or stuff like that. But when they turn this situation, they turn this anthill into a mountain of a situation because he's running off the field, he's being videotaped, and he's like, players run off the field, they say stuff all the time. But because it's Chase Young and it's versus Tampa, players say
I'm not talking about you.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
Ravens Nation said, if you're winning by intimidation, that doesn't prove your greatness to me. Motherfucker, didn't your 2000 Ravens team win off of intimidation in the Super Bowl damn near?
No, that was because Jason Sehorn and them was drunk.
That was because
like a drum.
No,
the Giants
and the 85 Bears the same shit.
No,
they went off of intimidation.
No, 85 Bears was different, and plus it was the.
I can't co-sign that because intimidation that's a part of what you call it, competition.
What I'm saying.
That's a part of competition. If you have some sort of intimidation, that quantifies as some form of greatness. Because it's like, look, like
of course
you go up against Jordan, you go up against somebody that's literally just better than you, and you're facing them, you're going to be somewhat intimidated because you know what they can do. And this thing goes back to what Chase Young did. Chase Young probably just said that because he doesn't want feel like he's intimidated, but at the same time, that's a give and take. You give that to somebody who's great, it's just going to fuel them more.
And Mike Tyson's a terrible example. He's facing some fucking tomato cans and over the hill ass boxers, so of course they were scared. But Buster Douglas had the tools to beat him, and he beat him because he had the tools to beat him. Now, obviously, the fact that his mother passed away was some motivation, but let's be honest, there were plenty of guys who weren't intimidated by Mike Tyson, and they still got their ass whooped. So that had nothing to do with it. They were going to get their ass whooped regardless because they sucked. That's how it goes. But I mean, intimidation, bro, there's plenty of guys that are intimidated by greatness. That's literally greatness. That's why they're intimidated. They're intimidated by the greatness of that player.
I got a question. When you play your most recent opponent, you're looking at the schedule, and let's say we're all playing on pro teams. I'm playing on Washington. Mm-hmm. I know that every time Dallas pops up, my eyes are gonna get a little big. I'm probably gonna talk a little bit more smack. I'm not probably gonna get more into it.
Yep.
Now I feel like in this case, this is a playoff game. This is a playoff matchup. They knew if they won that game, they were going to be facing Tom Brady. They knew this.
Yep.
They know what they're getting themselves into.
Mm-hmm.
What they're trying to tell you is they don't give a fuck. They haven't gave a fuck all season long. They're not apologizing for being who they are. And I'm glad that they're doing that. Now, if they get their asses beat on Saturday, that's fine. But they went down swinging.
But
that's the thing I appreciate.
But here's my issue about you and Joe Numbers' argument. How can we pretend that if they get their ass whooped, it absolutely had nothing to do with him giving them bulletin board material? How can you? How can you act like that had nothing to do with it?
What it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
But what
because that game is not going to come down to just Tom Brady.
But what I'm saying is,
we already know they're probably going to run the ball because Washington's run defense is not as good
what I'm saying,
as their pass defense, and they're right.
This is what I'm saying. People in the chat, like Joe Numbers and State of Franchise Sports, are basically saying, well, shit, it doesn't matter if you give them bulletin more material. If they lose, they just lost because they weren't the better team. No!
Well, they clearly are not the better team.
There's different ways to lose. If you lose by a fucking field goal, then obviously you hyped your team up, and when they went out there, they were ready to play, and you gave Tampa Bay all that they could handle. But if you come out and Chase Young is getting pancake left and fucking right, and y'all lose the game 45-3, there might have been a little bit more intimidation and motivation going on there, is my point. So let's not pretend like this bulletin board material doesn't matter. That's all I'm saying. But
it could go either way.
Oh God,
is what I'm saying. It's like 50-50.
That's all I gotta ask.
Okay. I say it like this. Okay, with this game coming up on Saturday night, and thank God it's on a Saturday night, it can go, I'll say 60-40 in favor of Tampa as far as the percentages of who has a chance to win. 60-40. It can still go either way because Tampa has known to lay an egg against certain teams that have a pass rush. and they weren't able to account for that. If they're not able to account for this, despite that fact, if they're going to pancake Chase Young the whole entire time, Montez Sweat will bat down a few balls because he likes to throw the ball quick. He's going to sit there, and if we can't get to Brady because he's throwing quick passes, then Montez is going to wait there. Duran likes to bat down passes too. So it's just like, oh, geez, just worry about the Rams being healthy enough to make it through the first round. They're playing in Seattle. Get off my nuts.
Here's my question about this draft.
That's why I put the draft there. I was waiting for y'all to say something because I think what
I was already ready to talk about it.
Because I was about to say the first 12 is set in stone. I want to think.
Pretty much.
Oh no, the first 18 are because there's a wild card. Okay, so basically, I'll say at least the first 18. Everybody who didn't make the playoffs pretty much is set in stone.
Look,
so the first 18.
This is my thing. Mm-hmm. This is a 2-player draft to me, and that's if one of them comes out because Trevor Lawrence. We still don't know. We assume, but weirder things have happened. To me, I don't care about anybody past the first 2 picks. Now they're talking about the Jets trading out of that pick, so it's going to be interesting.
1-0 at one point. Jesus Christ.
Jacksonville.
Jeez.
I mean,
Jay Gruden was definitely in those.
Jacksonville's going. I think Jacksonville's going to take Trevor Lawrence. I wish King was here to talk about it because King is a diehard Jaguars fan, and I like the fact that he talks about the Jaguars with passion because they're not necessarily a bad team; they just have bad personnel. Jacksonville has been a good team for at least the last 4 to 5 years, even without Ramsey in them. They just have bad personnel leading that team.
Let's be honest. Jacksonville's been setting up this tank for 2 years now, and that's why
I can agree with that.
That's why I don't fuck with them.
Yeah, because the team's not bad. It's just that they just said fuck it,
They pulled up Philadelphia 76ers. They traded away every player that wanted to win.
Wow. Yeah, that is true.
They trade away Ramsey. Telvin Smith is still there, but then you traded away Calais Campbell. You didn't retain him.
They've been let's go back even further. They've been doing this ever since they got ever since they got that receiver that smokes weed all the time. They've been doing it ever since then.
Justin Blackmon.
Yeah, they've been doing it ever since then. The one time they actually had a solid draft, they went to the AFC Championship, and I don't know what happened after that.
But no, because here's what I'm saying. Okay, now the last time, remember, Jacksonville was set up to be the next, and I'm not overstating this, the next king of the AFC. They beat New England.
Yeah, they were good. That's what I'm saying.
They should have beat New England if it wasn't for some bullshit.
They're still a solid team.
But that's what I'm saying. They traded away players that wanted to win because then they could tank and get in position for Trevor Lawrence. The issue is going to be if Trevor Lawrence said, you know what, I'm going to go back to school. Now, I don't think that would be smart. I think there's no point of you risking injury. You might as well go to the NFL. But if he doesn't want to, then they're stuck with Justin Fields because they're going to pick a quarterback. Make no mistake about it.
Right.
The Jets would then have no choice really but to trade out of that pick because it seems like they're in the market for a quarterback. If they trade out of the pick, who do y'all see them trading it to? Is my question. Houston,
Atlanta.
Well, shit, Miami apparently has.
Miami don't need a quarterback. Atlanta, I think Atlanta's moving up. Atlanta wants Justin Fields badly. They want to get rid of Matt Ryan. They want to get rid of Julio Jones. Believe it or not, I've been listening to the Atlanta radio stations. Arthur Blank is somewhat on board with this. He wants to get somebody in there that actually wants to do something different. The Matt Ryan, now I'm not even going to say Julio Jones, but the Matt Ryan experience has pretty much has been over and done with ever since 28-3. They just haven't found the right time to do anything about it. They tried their best to actually win games, and they ended up 4-12. I think they want to get Justin Fields because Justin Fields from Kennesaw, which is about 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Well, I'll say 30 with traffic. They want to get the hometown kid. They want to get some new spark in the team. They want to rebuild. They want to change everything over. I'm standing by that, and I would not be surprised if they do it.
So So here's good.
That doesn't mean Matt Ryan's a bad quarterback. That doesn't mean that Matt Ryan can't still play. I just think his time in Atlanta is about up. And from what I heard when Arthur Blank did the press conference, it sounded like he's on board with that. He's getting to the point where he already interviewed Bieniemy virtually, and they're trying to rekindle the Pat Mahomes vibe with Bieniemy coming down there and possibly getting Fields.
You know what, OG? So OG said the Jets of Miami should take Fields. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen Sam Darnold with an honest shot yet. I'm not gonna count Adam Gase. He's a fucking scrub. He's an idiot. He has every single team he's taken over has been the bottom half of the league offensively.
Well,
that doesn't tell you something.
Now.
I don't think Sam Darnold's. I don't think that Sam Darnold's the problem with New York.
That's the point I'm making. So I mean, if I was them, honestly, I trade down. I might give Miami that second pick, and I take Devontae Smith because he's projected to go third.
Yeah, because he literally didn't have any weapons. Honestly, Frank Gore was your guy at one point.
They have Fields going fourth to the Falcons as it is.
Okay, now OG made a point earlier about the history of Ohio State quarterbacks. Now we went through this in the previous episode.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think Justin Fields is Ohio State quarterback. Now, there's one thing I will say though. I do get Cardale Jones vibes with him, but I don't think he's your typical Ohio State quarterback because he's just been there for 6 games basically.
Yeah, I think Fields is a quarterback that played at Ohio State.
Right. He was grossly misused at the University of Georgia.
So I mean, we got Jamar Chase, 5th. He's going. They have him going to Cincinnati. I mean, like I said, Jacksonville taking Lawrence.
I think they take Lawrence.
I'll tell you what. Can Lawrence hang out at the bars? That's what Jay's gonna be. That's what they're gonna do.
I think they take Lawrence. I think the Jets may trade down, or they probably just get a receiver.
Thinking about Jay Gruden.
I don't know what Miami's going to do, but
Miami.
Like I said, there's already talks of getting rid of Matt. They're trying and getting rid of Julio. I don't think they will get rid of Julio, but Matt is definitely. They're already talking about it. And just getting somebody there with a fresh face of the franchise and actually try to go in a different direction.
You know, it's funny. So how many years does he have left on it? Because I know us in Washington, we've been looking at just in case Alex Smith. I
don't know, but
I think it's a high percentage that he's going to retire after the season.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's getting to the. I don't even think they care, to be honest with you. And I'm dead serious about that. I mean, I don't think they even care.
Yeah, because we were looking at, I'm looking at the possibility of because we're definitely not going to address quarterback in the draft.
No, OG Chase is going 5th, so he's below them.
So I was thinking,
at least on the mock draft.
Your guys' quarterback in Atlanta that's probably going to be leaving soon. We was thinking Stafford, but then the big swing would be going after Dak Prescott, see if they can outbid Dallas to get a quarterback in there.
Let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the Jets trading the second pick for a player, a big time player?
I see a player having to be a part of that pick. Somebody who's just disgruntled in their current situation.
That's what I'm saying. Like for a team, like a player that would be. Some sort of transcendent player. I mean, it's a second pick, obviously.
I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't see him as disgruntled, but what if Detroit made that option and made Stafford available to the Jets?
No, I don't see. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see Matthew Stafford or Carson Wentz worth the second overall pick. If they trade one of those two quarterbacks, they're getting probably like a second, maybe third rounder for one of those guys. I don't see that second overall.
I can't wait till we talk about Doug Peterson and this whole Philly New York dynamic.
Well, why is Pooh saying "fuck you, Bills"? What did I say?
I don't know. Probably because he's thinking about Wentz. I don't think they'll trade Wentz to the Jets for the second overall pick. There ain't no way.
In a previous episode, I made a suggestion that Carson Wentz could come to Washington, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I wouldn't mind it, but that will also come with the fact that Alex Smith retired. Y'all
gotta understand that Wentz and Stafford both, they're under a situation where they're trying to say with Stafford, but I know Wentz is under a situation where he is trying to get out of Philly. So with that being said, they're going to lowball that because he's trying to get up out of there.
I'm like, Pooh's saying, and notice I have no fucking way is okay. He's at least saying, hold up. At least he's being realistic and saying no fucking way is Carson going to the Jets. I get that because nobody's giving up another 2 for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, nobody's giving up another 2 for him.
A couple things. Look, Chase might fall to y'all. I'm talking about the mock draft here. It's one position. It's possible he could fall for y'all, but there's other receivers in the top 10, bro. It's not the end of the world. Y'all have bigger problems, like your dumbass dickhead coach. All right, why don't you worry about that? All right, why don't you worry about him packing his shit up and getting the fuck out of there?
Yeah, right? I can see. I definitely can see Chase going at 6.
Yeah, I mean, 5 or 6 is right around the range where he would go.
Smith to go first and Chase to go behind him. I can see that.
There's 3 damn good receivers in this top 10. You got Waddle, you got Smith, and you got Chase.
Maybe.
I think Waddle's going to fall a little bit because of his injury.
Maybe.
Maybe if Philly would have just lost that game instead of tying that game with Cincinnati, they got Waddle 3 pick. They'd be in position to get.
They got Waddle going where?
They got Waddle going 7.
I don't know. I mean, how extended is that injury? Because he's been out for half the season because of it. I don't know.
It's not a bad.
Because the last thing you want to do, you don't want, because they're talking about him trying to go out there and play the national title game. And he goes out there and he's like, it looks like he's at 50% or 75%. He's fallen out of the top 10. And maybe he'll be good for a team later on, but nobody's going to give up. Nobody's going to pay top 10 money for a guy who's just like pretty much unknown. I don't see them doing that.
They said he's going to return to practice.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It depends on how he does in the national title game. If he knocks it out, then yes. If he knocks it out, you could probably get him over. He probably go over Jamar Chase.
And that's going to depend on when that game is going to be played, because
they said it's intact right now for the same date.
Yeah, it's still intact. Yeah.
For now,
all I'm saying is, I think this might be the first time in a long time that a major player is traded for one of these picks, and I don't see a player with the Jets talking about that.
I don't see a player out there that's worth a top 10 pick. That's a big time player. I don't see it. Not right now. Maybe, and the thing is, he quote unquote don't be healthy all the time. It's Julio Jones. If he was out there playing all 16 games, he's been putting up the numbers that he's been putting up. Yeah, I can see it because he puts up like 16, 17, 1,800 yards a season. But he hasn't been healthy the last 2 years, so I don't see it. But outside of, I don't see no other player out there. Even Matt Ryan is the number that he's put up. I don't see him being traded for a top 10, a top 10 pick. I don't see it. Maybe late top 10, early second, yeah, but not top 10.
All I'll say is it's funny how disgruntled players go from injury prone to never being injured again once they are in a place they want to be.
That's another thing. Like I said, when they're disgruntled, these other teams are lowball that team because they know that player wants to get up out of there. So all of a sudden, when, let's say, for instance, Wentz want to get out of there, and you start seeing these teams saying, "Hey, I'll give you 4th round for him." So yeah, you know what I'm dead serious. Like
who's saying Wentz to the Patriots? Look, we're gonna talk about that when we get to Philly.
I would not be surprised at that. Those 2 areas right there is not a bad landing spot. I would not be surprised.
He can go to New England all the fuck he wants to. He gonna have nobody to throw to there.
He's going out west.
Is Alabama QB coming out this year? I'm not sure, but
no.
I'm not sold on him, to be honest. I mean, everybody can say what they want to say about Alabama quarterbacks. I mean, Tua was a different beast because, I mean, the way that he was not your typical Alabama quarterback. Before Tua, who you had? Parker Wilson, and you had AJ McCarron, Greg McElroy, and like you didn't have nobody, so it's like, what was the other guy? Blake Sims, like. Like I'm not putting any. We want to talk about Ohio State quarterbacks. I mean, Alabama's almost up there. Don't let Tua blind your eyes as far as these Alabama quarterbacks.
Apparently, Mac Jones is coming out. Like, I guess he's projected to go. Let me see.
Late first, early second. I can see that.
Somebody said, "Wait, what?"
Because they even got the BYU quarterback up there at the top 5.
Yo, I hope he goes to New England so I can laugh. What round would that be? Because he's throwing 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, 77 completion rate. I mean, look, you can't really judge Alabama's quarterbacks the same because they're playing with a pro offensive line.
Not even that. Look at your receivers. You got Smith, Waddle, and who else?
That's enough right there.
I mean, what was up, Greg? Who was it? McElroy? Greg McElroy was like looking like an NFL prospect when he was throwing it to Julio and Amari Cooper.
What was AJ McCarron? AJ McCarron was the
modern. I mean, AJ McCarron. That's what I meant to say. He looked like
he's a modern day Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, AJ McCarron can barely stay on the third string in the Bengals, but he looked like an NFL quarterback.
That's more of a stigma though, because that kid played pretty well when he did start for that little.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. He just can't hold on to the job. But when you have these top receivers you're throwing it to, you look like you're going to be the next thing smoking.
Well, part of that is the perception that the guy will never be, and that's my issue with Bill Belichick's dumbass. Is he drafted Stidham to be the heir apparent, and then he won't play him, and then we'll get to that. So we
get to that down the road. I mean. Anything else y'all want us to look at this draft? Because I don't see anything else.
I don't have anything else.
Because everything else is still far fetched after that. I mean, my main thing was looking at these top 5, maybe 6. Because it's like everybody that's up here, you know that what you kind of know what they need and what they want. Miami's still like that wild card. Thanks to Bill O'Brien, they got number 3 pick. But everybody else is like the first 5 is like you kind of know what they need. Quarterback, Jets could trade out, but I would not be. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets get old boy out of Alabama, Najee Harris, if he's coming out. I wouldn't be surprised at that. They could use a running back.
Bill O'Brien's dumbass is like, hey, let's get a left tackle from a team that actually probably needs it, but they'll go and take the 3rd pick and probably get another fucking lineman. And meanwhile, we'll miss the playoffs and I'll get fired. Dipshit.
One more thing before we go. Nick Saban is trying to get Bill O'Brien to run as a coordinator for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Perfect. That was what I was about to say. I think that is the perfect spot for him, and he will succeed at that because that's one guy that don't need to be having the voice to be giving out authority. He needs to be in the coordinator position.
Oh no, he's gonna be the coordinator position, and he's gonna have free reign to yell at people because they're in college, and he'll use his. Oh, I coached in NFL, was a dipshit, ducked at it, and he'll do that.
He'll try Saban to run him out of there before he does that. That's not the college you want to go to.
Saban's gonna let him be a hard ass. Like he's gonna let him be.
No. He's gonna let him be a hard ass, but he's not gonna let him like throw his weight around because he doesn't have much to throw around. Saban throws the weight around there. That's just how it is. I mean, he might try to talk them into playing better, but he's not gonna be beating his chest. Saban's not gonna get away with that.
So what happened, Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, you saw what happened with Lane Kiffin too.
Yeah, exactly. He lost that damn bowl game too.
Yeah, and he ran his ass up out of there. Yeah. It's not gonna happen. But I don't know. Anything else y'all got?
No, let's talk about this Eagles shit.
Yeah, this is. Look, I'll lead off and say this. With Doug Peterson, I definitely disagree with that decision to switch out Jalen in favor of Nate Sudfeld. But there was possibility of Sudfeld playing in that game.
He claims.
Well, and he was going to get him in there sooner or later. He was like, I was just waiting for the right situation. Well, apparently, after not being able to score a touchdown with Jalen Hurts, going for it on all 4 downs instead of kicking the field goal to tie the game, I figured, I guess he figured that was the right time. Now, I don't agree with that, and obviously there are players that didn't agree with it either. But that's been a complaint about Doug Peterson all year long. But here's the thing: for him to make that decision, and then his explanation, and the fact that he hasn't been fired yet, leads me to believe that this is the decision. That the decision was made higher than him, because if this was him by himself, as he claims, then he would have been gone by now.
I don't think so.
I would have fired his ass after making that decision. That's a fireable offense.
Well, you're a smart guy. You're not a dipshit like their organization as a whole is. This is what it comes down to. Doug Peterson is an asshat. He's been an asshat this entire year. He changed to a gimmick offense for Jalen Hurts to make him look presentable. And when it came time for Jalen Hurts to score some points against the defense that gave a shit, he couldn't. Let's call it what it is. Then he decided, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tank the rest of this game, and I'm going to take Jalen Hurts out and put Nate Sudfeld, who's only, and I'm going to say this very carefully so you guys understand what I'm saying. Nate Sudfeld has only played in 3 games prior to this. Not started. He hasn't started one. He played.
And this was like, he didn't play none this season, right?
He played, no.
That's what I'm about to say. He only played 3 games, but none of them was this season.
His conspiracy theory, he was drafted by Washington. So,
okay.
Nate?
But, look, this is all I'm saying. We want to see some of Nate and see what he's got. Motherfucker, he played 3 games in 4 years before this. You didn't care about Nate Sudfeld before that. You don't care about him now. It's a horseshit excuse. He has no integrity. The organization has no integrity. The Giants don't have an argument because, yeah, they did not win enough games to put themselves in position to come in this week and breathe easy and say, hey, we'll win the division. Maybe we'll just go in and, try to win this game to have some momentum going to the playoffs. No, they didn't do that. I'm not arguing on behalf of the Giants. I'm arguing on behalf of integrity and having a set of balls going into a game. He's full of shit. I'm sorry. And then to make it worse, he goes and benches Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And doesn't even play him. And then they're like, so there's rumors that Carson Wentz didn't want to play. Horse shit. And I'll tell you why. If Carson Wentz didn't want to play, maybe it was because he wasn't in favor of getting benched by Jalen Hurts and having the whole offense transform to what it should have been when he was in. I don't know. Like seriously, Doug Peterson has this grandfathered in faith from this organization because he won a Super Bowl in which New England couldn't guard a fucking cupboard from a baby. And I mean, that's really what it came down to. They went on a hot run with Nick Foles, and players oftentimes when shit ain't going well, they love a change in a certain position, like quarterback, and that's really what it came down to. Everybody making it out to be like Carson Wentz should have ever been benched is full of shit. They're completely full of shit. Carson Wentz should have never been benched. He's the most sacked quarterback in the league, and the reason for that is not because he holds the ball too long. Those plays were too slow developing. All those gadget plays, one read, and if it's not there, take off, that was Jalen Hurts' offense. And it worked for a couple weeks. Now you want to pull him and put Nate fucking Sudfeld in.
Yeah, the problem is with this point is just the relationship between Wentz and that team is beyond repair. He's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I want to see from this, because obviously Philly and New York got beef. More beef than Murray's Steakhouse. So apparently the two are going to have this blood feud or something like that. I hope there is a blood feud stemming from this. I hope that the next time the Giants and the Eagles play, there's something before the game, during the game, and even after the game. I hope this extends on. I hope this starts something where where those two teams don't have to focus on the Dallas Cowboys, because that's our issue in Washington is Dallas. We're the only team that's supposed to be worried about Dallas, not Philly, not New York. Y'all need to be worried about each other.
Well, Dallas got their own set of problems, bro.
How ironic is it that Philly pretty much healthy for the most part for a lot of this season, played themselves out of playoff position, and ended up costing the team that lost their best player a playoff spot. They shouldn't have even been in it. We all talked about the Giants before this season, thinking they were going to be fully healthy, and said, "Oh, they might make the playoffs." And then we get down to week 17, and it's time for them. Like, oh shit, Philly fucks around and wins this game, Giants gonna be in the playoffs. And Philly's like, nah, we're gonna put Nate Sudfeld in. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all see that pick he threw? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I knew that was getting picked. He threw that up there. I was like, oh, that's getting picked.
OG says, I personally believe that there's much better ways to tank, but I don't want to hear a single thing from a coach who can't win more than 6 games.
No, we're not. But
that is.
I get it. But come on, bro. They lost their best player and they were still in contention.
I look at it like this.
Subliminary Sports says Wentz to the Lions, Stafford to the Skins, and Ryans to the 49ers.
Bro. What is this with this new quarterback to the 49ers? They've already said they want to keep Garoppolo. I don't know.
No, they said they expect.
Okay.
That's a little, but here's the thing. I know
he's still under contract.
He's still under contract. They expect. It doesn't mean he is.
Oh,
they went over the semantics earlier in the day. I was laughing about it too. But if you say, well, we expect.
Whoa.
That could change.
No.
That's etched in stone.
What's Pooh talking about? Go. Let me see what he said about the Bucs.
I thought he said this about the Browns.
Did the Bucs have integrity when they intentionally gave up a 21-7 game just to get Winston? I just want to spot the BS real quick.
What game was that?
First off, what game are you talking about?
Yeah.
Secondly, who defended tanking as a whole, bro? What are you talking about?
Don't tell me that was the Kirk Cousins game where they were up and we came back and won that game, and all of a sudden you like that stem from that game.
Did anyone say this about the game of football when a team played with no quarterback at all? I'm sorry. We definitely criticized the NFL for being hypocritical about that because they gave the Ravens several days to get healthy, and they made Denver play that game. I think we all talked about that, so you might want to go back and listen to the podcast. Anyway, back to your shitty team. Yeah, so Doug Peterson's full of shit. He should be fired. Look, I already said I don't think the Giants necessarily have an argument, but at the same time, I've never seen a form of tanking like that in the middle of a game.
I see you.
In the middle of a game. Literally in the middle of a game. One possession game.
No.
He's like, you know what?
No. Tell him
I've seen enough. This guy ran for 2 touchdowns, but who gives a shit? Nate Sudfeld, come to the game.
And the sad thing about it, the game itself was ugly from the beginning. Like Washington almost gave the game away quite a few times. Even after Nate came in, almost fumbled the ball. It was just like nobody really strange stuff was happening in the Giants-Cowboys game. It was like nobody wanted that little exchange where dude fumbles the ball when they're trying to run the clock out.
Pooh.
Luckily he recovered it.
Pooh. What the fuck are you talking about? Your argument.
Y'all ready to close this out instead of fussing with him? Because you know how he is about his ego.
I'm not fussing with him.
It's not even fussing. It's setting him straight because it makes no sense. He says, "Where's the majority that said all this? This is my problem. No one called it out then, but they wait for the Eagles to tank on a Sunday night game. Because you were the only game on TV at the time, so everybody was watching. Because it happened in the middle of a game. So what are you talking about right now? It was in the middle of a game that everybody's eyes were fixated on because it was an NFC East title game. That's why everybody saw it and is talking about it. Don't act like we're just heaping on your team. Your team is ass enough. There's plenty of other reasons to talk about your garbage-ass team. That's not why we're talking about it.
All I know is at the end of the day, this doesn't spark a feud between Philly and New York. These are just two teams. This is two teams whose organizations, players, and fans are doing nothing but grandstanding.
Well, I mean, come on.
That's basically what this is because these two teams should be just fighting each other. We here in Washington can fight Dallas by ourselves. We don't need the whole NFC East to hate on Dallas.
That's the NFL's fault.
I'm like, we have a particular reason why we hate Dallas. Don't fake it. Now you guys, New York and Philly, have a real case for rivalry between each other.
I'm done here.
Fight ourselves.
Pooh's full of shit. I'm done here. He said that's the NFL's fault. Yeah, it's the NFL's fault for putting the most important game of the week on primetime. You're so full of shit, bro. Good luck in the draft. Good luck in the draft. I hope y'all get Santa Claus. Fucking get out of here.
DJ, what you got before we go?
I don't know. There's a lot of energy in this podcast. It started the new year. We had somebody had some TNT, crack cocaine, whatever. It was like mixed. Like, damn. I wanted to fight somebody after the first segment. Jeez, so much energy. But anyway, going to stream tomorrow. What the F just happened will return. My idea is that I'm going to do it season based on season. So I'm going to do like 10 episodes per quarter on my Twitch channel. And, you know, if BF be so kind, the banner, the username is Evo325. That's where I'm at Twitch. Usually go live at around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it will be episode 11. But like I said, I'm gonna go 10 per quarter. So every 3 months, I'm doing 10 episodes, and I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. I think that was the idea, that little stem from, you know, the holiday season. I was like, why not? I just do this. It gives me flexibility to take a break.
Somebody getting sleepy
at the end, and that's
it.
Getting
sleepy, Daddy.
Not sure what topics I'm going to talk about, but I have a couple of ideas, and I'll probably confirm them by 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. So. Other than that, this was a very explosive show, very chaotic at the beginning, but it was a great show nonetheless. And appreciate everybody in the chat. You know, Scott OG coming through, State of Franchise Sports, Complementary Sports, Sir Bishop, you know, Spectacular Pooh for his nonsense. So, you know, and everybody else that appeared to make this a lively show. So I appreciate you guys, appreciate Bills and VF today, and that's what I got. And y'all can have at it.
Okay.
Well, for me, I'm just wondering where this energy was when we had with the phone lines open, damn near. You know, it's funny how everybody can, you know, type, you know, Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers, but you know, opposite. But you know, yeah, it was a great episode. Pooh's full of shit for defending his team tanking. You know, Quaface got exposed for calling me somebody that I'm clearly not, and something that clearly wasn't happening. And OG's been instigating this entire podcast, so it's been fun. Complementary Sports always has great questions. State of Franchise Sports always has great insight. Joe Numbers, same thing. And yeah, I had fun tonight, regardless of how we argued. I mean, it just that's what we do here. We argue and then we forget about it. So, yeah, it's been real.
Oh, let me answer that question about Joey Numbers, because they're Bamas.
Oh boy!
And people on my mother's side of the family are Bamas too, because they're Cowboys fans too. I'm not gonna say that about my mother. She's a Cowboys fan. She's not a Bama. She's just misguided. So wow. I would just look at it like that.
You say give a virtual hug? No. No.
Not with not with these viruses on the virtual side of things too.
Oh my god, Pooh, what are you doing? Yo, Pooh is the typical. They were doing it too. Who gives a fuck?
It gives in the peer pressure.
Why? They were doing it. Shut up, bro.
If anything, Giants are hypocritical. Remember that game, Washington versus New York? Whoever won that game was going to lose out on Chase Young.
But I just hate they were doing it too mentality. It's like that makes it okay for you to do it because everybody else is doing it. It's fucking bullshit.
This last thing, what makes it egregious is that the draft number, the order is absolute based on record. If they had a lottery, we wouldn't be talking about any of this.
The Patriots said everybody was doing it too when they got caught with all them tapes. Go ahead, VF.
All right, this has been another good episode. Complementary Sport asked me, am I streaming tonight? I probably will, but I got this little one here
that
do not want to go to sleep.
Complementary, what do you want, the West Coast?
I don't know, but I did say I was going to
No,
stream
he's
because I was
here.
supposed to. Well, excuse me.
Oh, yeah?
fine then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
But I did say I was going to stream because I was supposed to stream probably Metroid Prime tonight because I skipped out on Sunday retro stream and I did a Monday retro stream instead. So I am kind of behind on my streaming schedule. I was supposed to stream Metro Prime last night, so I may do that again tonight. It is either that or I may do APF. I don't know, but I want to stream something, so I may stream tonight. If you're following me there, go ahead and get your notifications on. As soon as I go live, you'll know. Also follow me on Twitter because once I go live, it also posts on Twitter as well. So I may stream something. But other than that, great show, guys. A lot of passion. I'm still kind of pissed off at this Madden thing. I'm sorry. That's not going to change for a while because I see the bullshit on the wall. But other than that, the football stuff, always great. We always have a good dialogue. Thanks to everybody in the chat that came through and had their piece to say about everything. Scott OG, I have no idea what NBA Live is going to look like, whatever you guys are doing over there. But I am one of the few that is going to continue to try to keep this NBA Live game alive until the next one comes up because everybody's playing the other game and I want to be unique on my Twitch channel. So I started a fantasy draft over there and the game was actually pretty good. A couple of guys who watched it, it was really enjoyable. Like I said, in the fantasy draft, I ended up getting LeBron and I got Trae Young. I got a couple other guys and LeBron had 35 assists, 7 rebounds. Pretty good game in our first win, and I'm going to continue to play that. So I'm trying to keep the game alive because I feel like you guys probably may have something special going on over there, whatever you guys are building over there. I think we're going to see something really different, and I'm going to invest my time into what you guys are doing over there. You've been more than generous with your time with us, coming over to this podcast, night in and night out, listening to us. And so I'm going to try to do you a solid as well and just try to keep the name alive until you guys put something out there. So that's what I'm doing over there. And like I said, the lines is always open. I know you asked for the link late, but we're about to get up out of here. So sorry. Definitely any other time, you are more than welcome to come on. Follow us, all of us on Twitter. The links are in the description. All the Twitter links, those are in the description. If you want to listen to us when we're not live, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that is there. And one more thing, the podcast will be going on Twitch on the 26th of January. What that means is we're going to be live over there, but we're going to be putting the podcast on the YouTube channel after we're live. So after that, so all the live stuff is going to be over there. But if you want to listen to us after the fact, it will be uploaded over here later on. Complimentary Sports asked to play Bill Walsh tonight. Nope, I'm going to be playing the retro stuff, the real retro stuff on Sunday. So I may do that on Sunday. All right, other than that, I'm going to be up out of here. You guys be safe. They tell you to wear a mask, wear a mask. I'm not against it, but they're not medical masks, so you know how I feel about that. Other than that, you guys be good. And we will see you guys Thursday when we really find out what the Spongebob thing is. We'll talk about that as well. All right, guys. You guys be easy. Be safe. And peace.
What
Peace.
the fuck? This will be